Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have here the Hermit card. The Hermit is about spending time alone. It's not a card of loneliness. I don't want to misunderstand that. But it's really about going within and discovering what's important to you. It's connecting with your spirituality. It's discovering what's important. Sometimes we need that distance from other people and the noise that they bring to be able to understand what we need to do in our life. You'll notice that anytime you see the Hermit in a deck, he's always in motion. He's always walking somewhere. He's somebody with a long beard. It's white hair or gray hair, silver hair. That's indicative or symbolic of wisdom. You don't have to be any person with a beard or gray hair to have wisdom. You know, we can tap into that. There's the wisdom of the spheres, the wisdom of the universe. But he's always in motion. It means that even though he seems by himself, alone, isolated, or cloistered, he's not. He's forward moving, just in a way that occurs underneath the surface. I think of the Hermit oftentimes as I do like in February. You know, you may not see the shoots, but something is starting to occur underneath the surface as the seed pods are breaking open. The green tips have not pushed through the soil just yet. But definitely this is about the wisdom that can come from within. This can be Virgo as well. At least it's associated with the zodiac sign of Virgo. Excuse me. Now, maybe some of the reason for this Hermit energy is because of anxiety. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. 9 of Air is about anxiety. It's about toxic thinking. It's about emotional pain, angst. It can be other inflicted, but a lot of times it really has to do with our perception of a situation and what we're going through in that pain. This is not a comfortable energy. This is one of the I don't want to say the worst cards in the deck, because every single card and everything any card can possibly represent is a blessing. It's a teaching tool. But what are the things that we think about? You know, sometimes if we write those down, we journal those, we can understand where that is coming from, what we need to learn, what's important to us. You know, I use the example in my sessions and groups that, you know, if we accidentally slam our hand in the door. Like, I remember doing stuff like that when I was a kid. I can't remember the last time I slammed my hand in a door on accident, you know, because we learn from that. I learned from that. I'm very careful about my hands around windows and doors and things like that. It only has to happen once, and you learn. We learn the most, the fastest, the deepest, and for life from the things that cause us emotional pain. Same physical pain, same way. We learn from that. Hopefully, like the Hermit energy, it's going to help us become better versions of ourselves. Are we reaching our own personal ideal of who we want to be? Are we learning? Are we moving forward on our path? Are we employing wisdom to understand what this is about and to see if we can't find solutions? Every emotion, negative or positive, teaches us about who we are. Now, crossing you is the Two of Water. Right? The keynotes here are a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. So for some of you, that may be what's going on here, is that something occurred and you're hoping to have positive resolution from a conflict. Two of Water can indicate a soulmate, but I'm going to defer to the keynotes on this card for the purpose of this reading because of the 9 of Air there. The 9 of Air is the general it's the general energy that you've been operating in right now. You're not only very bummed out about something, but you're in pain for some reason. What's that about? And this Two of Water here, you want the positive resolution, forgiveness. Forgiveness of another person, forgiveness for yourself, forgiveness from another person. You know, take it as it resonates, right? Now here we have the Sun card. Sun card can indicate Leo, doesn't have to, because the Sun is the planetary ruler of Leo. But this is kind of what you're aiming for, what you're hoping for. You want to get out of this 9 of Air energy and you want to get into the Sun. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck. You want to have confidence in yourself, happy outcome, brilliant ideas that lead to success. It's not a joke that they put the word brilliant there. Brilliant really means shining brightly. And of course, we use it intellectually to mean intelligent. Brilliant. Because the sun, right, the sun corresponds with logic, the moon with the emotional sides, rational and irrational, respectively, yin yang, respectively. You want healing. You want to feel the sun on your face when you've been in the cold of night with your thoughts. And you want the happiness and the joy that can come from releasing this energy here. Beneath you is the wheel. The wheel is about the turning of cycles, the influence of spirit. Spirit acts upon our lives. We don't always recognize that or respect that, but it does, right? Things happen that are beyond our control. And sometimes things happen that are within the control of our spirit guides, helpers, angels, God, however you want to put that, right? There are individuals working behind the scenes to help us grow and connect with the things that we were born to do. People come into our lives for a reason. You know, when we say, oh, you're heaven sent, you know, this person's heaven sent, or this situation, oh, what a blessing. No, really, things are heaven sent. Things are blessings. Things that we're supposed to do and to learn. We're supposed to grow. I really have this theory that every person on this earth is born here to learn how to love. Some people are here to learn how to love other people. Some people are here to learn how to love themselves. And most of us are walking some kind of a line in between those two. They're not opposites. But we're all here to learn to love, really. Whatever that means. Doesn't mean you can't have boundaries. Doesn't mean you can't set rules or limits. It simply means we're here to find a balance between loving ourselves and loving other people. If we love ourselves in a toxic way, we're selfish. If we love other people in a toxic way, we're codependent and enabling, possibly even dependent. So we're here to learn to love ourselves enough and also to find that balance between selfishness and self-care, self-love, right? And Archangel Michael, I just want to point out too, he's on this card right here at the center of that. And he is one of those angels. He's an archangel who helps us to identify our spiritual path and what that is. He's a good one to ask for help. If you ever feel scared of toxic energies and so on, he can clear that for you. He's done that for me before when I thought that there was some toxic stuff in a situation, and he told me, no, we're only friends here. It's very, very reassuring. He's the angel that took, what's his name? I want to say Satan or Satan or Lucifer or whatever you want to call him. He's the one that upon God's command, he cast Satan out of the Garden of Eden, out of heaven. So he's wrestled through that, you know, that's the legend in part. Good stuff. I'm not here to give you Bible tutorials. I don't know enough about it, but we keep learning, don't we? Four of Fire, recent past, right? This can be happiness. This can be a wedding. This could be something solidly set. This is passion. This is fire suit, right? Contentment, peace, and abundance. Happy home life and the successful completion of a project. I see these 4 posts and I see something edifying. In other words, you think it takes, 4 posts to make the bed, 4 corners to the house, whatever that is. It could be that for some of you, you bought a new house or you got a new job and you're feeling comfortable in that. You're feeling well situated. You've got your 4 wheels underneath you, if it's a car, metaphor. 4 of Fire. Some would point out this 1111 right here. That's possible too. For some of you, this is soulmate energy. This 4 of Fire right here, that could be that happy home life. But happy home life doesn't always have to be about romance. And again, most of what I'm feeling with that is because of the anxiety level, there's something that you do feel very uncomfortable about. But it seems like you got your feet under you. You're rolling forward in a way, metaphorically. The 13 here, release. 13s are about change, big transformation. Spiritual transformation, time to move on, the end of a phase or a situation. So there is great change coming up in your life, and possibly it's the anticipation of that. That is the factor that you're so anxious about in the Nine of Air covering you. Release is in the immediate future. So it's going to have to happen, and you know this already. It could be because something is coming into play. There's divine timing that's coming into play. If you're not making the changes that you need to in your life, Spirit will do it for you. Fate will do it for you. Now the card for you, on release, this is that idea that we have to release the old to make room for the new. It's kind of like, imagine planting your garden in the springtime. Well, fine, but you got to get rid of the old cold, dead husks of the previous crop. You got to turn over the soil. You got to put the vitamins back into the earth, the nutrients. You got to fertilize and all that, pluck weeds. I'm not saying all of that stuff in the correct order per se, but you know what I mean. Plant metaphor. Yes, plant metaphor. The card representing you is the Three of Fire. Three of Fire has to do with waiting for your ships to come in. You know it's on the way, it's forthcoming, because you've done some work and you know that it's coming in. This is about making long-term plans, what you want those to look like. Even as you're facing this release that is coming up, you also know that there are good things that can be coming in for you. Good things that's coming in for you. And I'm drawn to notice, I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't want to pull the card too closer to get blurry, but this right here that I'm circling with my finger, that's a butterfly. That's about change and transformation. So you're waiting for something beautiful to develop, and you're hoping for something wonderful. The cards are reading very optimistic. Like, in spite of your anxiety that you're going through, there's a deeper core of you that is very positive and optimistic about what can be. That I think this release may not be quite so uncomfortable as you're fearing in your Nine of Air energy. Release some of that Nine of Air. I mean, you do want to acknowledge how you're feeling. You never want to shut yourself up, so to speak, because that's abusive. That's like when other people tell us to shut up because, they're uncomfortable with our emotions. Fine, I won't share them here, but I'm not going to shut up. I'm going to vent my feelings. I'm going to let them out in a healthy way. In the environment card, ego, false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. That's this. Are you addicted to your anxiety or pain? Are you addicted to the helplessness that comes with that? Are you addicted to anything? Because this can be about, in part, with the release card, we want to release the things that are unhealthy attachments. We want to release addictions and fears. We want to release the way we talk ourselves into a prison. I'm noticing around this person here with the mask on, which means that this is not about true, authentic self. Somebody's putting on a front. But this orbital shape can be the aura of the person, but it could also be a symbolic rebirth, kind of like an emergence from a womb. But take the mask off first. Take off the costume. I don't want to see your naked ass, but you get what I mean. Like, be you. Be you, and don't worry about it. Don't apologize. Release this toxic fear and anxiety because it's keeping you stuck in a prison of your own creation. Now, if this ego is somebody else's, that could be what's giving you pause here. But then again, I'm thinking it's not, because we got this Four of Fire, which looks like a happy home life. So it may not be the relationship. You've got your ships are coming in over here, so it looks like your business life. I think for some of you, it's your personal life. Romance, friendships, whatever. Let go of the ego things that are tripping you up. Be vulnerable. Take your mask off. Take your mask off and speak who you really are. This Two of Water here, growing closer with somebody. Nobody's going to fall in love with that mask. Your friends are going to be turned off by the mask, right? Forgiveness comes from being authentic. Because some forgiveness is going to happen. If you are in a state of conflict with another person, you can't control their reaction to that. Really, all you can do is just try to be your most authentic and real self. They'll accept that or reject that in their own turn. Then again, if you need to forgive someone else, same thing. Do what you need to do to be right within your own self. Trust in the process. Because sometimes, when we need to forgive other people, sometimes we take that on. We take on their crap. Again, take it as it resonates, because, Depending on how many people view this video, this could go a million ways. I don't know. But something is worrying you. Do you want to live in that worry, or do you want to release it and move on to your next great thing? Here we have hopes and fears. This Two of Earth, this is kind of what you're thinking, in a sense. You're worried about having so much going on. And you do have a lot going on, clearly. These ships did not fill themselves. That was your effort to put them there. And you want to see what's going to build from that. You're in a growth. You're in a change process. Two of Earth can be about juggling a lot of things. It can be about juggling them successfully. But it is about having a lot going on and needing to make some kind of a decision. The number two, can oftentimes it represents ambivalence, conflicting thoughts and feelings, heart and mind decisions about possibly earthly material things. So something happened to go on here. The future outcome, heartache, great sadness, taking time to heal, and the need to forgive yourself of others. So this is your final outcome card. This is the near future card. Coming to a place where there's a need for release to be able to give yourself that healing that you need. If your ego is getting in the way, you're not going to release this and move on. Learn your lesson and grow from it and move on. Are you being stubborn? And what are you being stubborn for? Would you rather be right or happy? Would you rather win or be happy? Some people would rather be alone or with the wrong people because they're like, hey, screw that. I'm not becoming vulnerable to anybody. I'm not going to apologize for any reasons or whatever. Take more time if necessary in this hermit energy. Take even more time if necessary for you to unpack some of that. Ask yourself what purpose this ego is serving for you. Is it disconnecting you from this place of happiness that you believe you can attain, that you can be here, that you can feel happy and rebirth, rejuvenation, contentment? Are you blocking the sun element from coming in because your ego is preventing you from releasing something? Because that's choice-based. These are karmic lessons. And the thing about a lesson is it's going to happen again and again and again and again until we learn it. There used to be, I guess there still is. There's a Depeche Mode song from back in the 80s. It was, I don't want to start any blasphemous rumors, but I think that God has a sick sense of humor. This is one of those times. We get to have the Groundhog Day over and over and over again until we get the lesson right. So what is it for you, and what will it cost you? If you think about what will it cost you to release the things of your ego so that you can find some kind of healing here and move on to your next best thing and to your next joy. And then think about what's the cost to holding on to the mask. Cost benefit analysis. The ego card is also considered the devil card. Maybe it's the 13, whatever. But between these two cards that you've got, one's your environment, one's your future, these are the devil and the tower cards in other decks. So if you're familiar with the tarot cards, those are not great cards to have, but they're wonderful in the sense that they really, really teach us without bullshitting around. They teach us what it is that we need to do to be able to move forward, get unstuck, and to continue to elevate on our spiritual journey. How do we lighten up? Spiritually speaking, right? How do we lighten up? So let me pull a Healing with the Angels Oracle card, also by Dorian Virtue. And stop me if you've seen this one before. I know I did them last time for December 1st. Angel Tarot cards, this is what I've been working with. Now we're doing the Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. I do like to show you guys that and also give credits to the authors and artists who've done these. Let's see if our angel friends, guides, helpers. All right, healing. So let me read this card for you. Healing. Okay. A situation that has caused you concern is on the mend. You are a natural healer, and your healing thoughts have manifested into form. Sometimes a situation cannot heal until you release the challenge completely, so that healing light can enter it. Your worries will soon be over because this card signifies that a healing has occurred. To realize this healing, however, you must first stop focusing on what is wrong and instead affirm everything is in divine and perfect order right now. You have natural healing abilities, and this card asks you to have faith that God works through you as an earth healing angel. Hold thoughts of love around any situation that seems to need healing. Visualize the situation is healed right now. Then give thanks to God for this healing and completely release everything to the angels. The powerful effects of your healing work touch many lives. And what an excellent guide to being able to release some of these issues and find healing for the situation at hand